Hey, guess what? Turns out programming a video game from scratch is really hard when you've never done it before and have no knowledge of programming before you decided to start doing it. Who knew? My name's Austin, and this is my devlog for my as of yet unnamed roguelike tactics game. Now, I've been working on this game for about 4 or 5 months now, and in that time, I've really had to learn Unity and C# and programming in general from scratch. I have a basis in animation and art, and have no knowledge in coding. It's been really nice learning how to code making this game, and it's been nice to be able to have a hobby that is apart from my art. The main downside, though, to learning coding this way, and the reason why I don't think I could recommend people doing it the way that I've done it so far, is that it turns out that after you've learned a decent amount of coding, you then go back and have to fix all of the code that you've already made for this game, because it turns out that the code you made for this game is clunky and unfunctional if you even so much as just lightly tap it, which is unfortunately what I did this month. The plan for this month was to experiment with new map types and new characters. As it stands, I only have about 5 characters that are actually functional in the game, and even them, they are generally pretty loose, and I have not made any assets for them except for standing poses, and even some of them there, I haven't done that either, and I've just recolored old people. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about how to make these characters, because I plan on having a lot of these different characters, because one of the main conceits of this game is the ability to mix and match different people together to make unique, cool teams to run through the dungeons with. So, I began the process of designing a bunch of small little characters that I could add into the system, and as I did that, I realized that my system really could only handle adding in 5 people or so before it started being really clunky to fix. Turns out I had to change all the code associated with that just so it would be easier for me in the future if I wanted to add any people from then on. So that was really helpful. I also decided to try testing out a cave map, which meant that I had to learn about lighting systems, how to make tile maps that react to each other and to make it a variable tile map that would look like a natural cave system. I had to adjust the battle UI because of that, and I'm still currently in the process of fixing that. As I did this, I may or may not have accidentally destroyed the difficulty curve, which I did fix, and somehow I destroyed the AI, which I haven't fixed yet. As it currently stands, they've gone back to their original stupid first forms that are unable to tell that a wall is in between a person and them, and will just run right into that wall to try and get at you, even if it's not gonna work. So yeah, I guess if you go into a month planning on it being mostly about experimentation, I guess you should be more prepared in the future to understand that experimentation may in fact accidentally break most of your clunky old code, and you're gonna have to go back and fix all of that. And I know for a fact that in 4 or 5 months, I'm gonna look back at what I'm saying here and be like, ooh, you created so many more problems, and I will nod my head solemnly, knowing that I have. A couple unplanned things that I did this month that I added in as well. I let my brother and my brother's kids play the game, and one of the ideas that they gave me that they said would be really helpful is the ability to click on the top left buttons to be able to filter and focus in on certain characters, which I thought was great, and then led me to experiment more with the zoomed in camera perspective, which I think I want to aim for more. One of the things that I realized as I was making the cave map is that I was very much structured to 6 rooms for this randomly generated dungeon because of how I wanted to be able to have the pulled out view, have every different map room available. So I am re-examining that so that I can be able to have more versatility when it comes to the different map types. Overall, I would say that this month has been successful and unsuccessful at the same time in that I've learned a lot. I had to change a lot of things that I probably would have had to change later if I hadn't done them now. But I would also say that it is a little disappointing that most of my month was spent fixing all of the different bugs and errors that I caused because I forgot a line of code or some other little minor thing. It does mean that next month I will have to be focusing a little bit more on polishing the system. I don't want to go too far into this before the game actually functions properly. As also for next month, I would like to try and experiment more with different assets. I want to be able to experiment with attack animations and death positions. I need to be able to at least have one of those made so that I can have some sort of basis so that I can program stuff in. Overall, I'm looking forward to it, and I will make sure to have another devlog out next month. I took a little bit more time on this one because I am trying to make it at least a little bit more edited than my last one was, which was more just me dipping my toes into the water. And as it goes, I definitely will be trying to make these videos more interesting to watch as it goes. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about. Give me a like, follow the channel if you'd like, and I'll talk to you guys next month.